Anyway.
We have not talked about the uniform fiasco, and it's affecting college teams, not in the same way, but with Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball this year switched to Fanatics, who's manufacturing their uniforms. Fanatics, if you're not aware, is the company that has a monopoly, and that's what it is. And it's kind of shameful that it exists because there's a whole structure in the American government system that says they shouldn't be allowed to exist, but they do. They own the rights to NFL apparel, basketball apparel, hockey now, the exclusive provider of hockey. And
I bought something from Fanatics today.
I have Fanatic stuff. I do. Because
you don't have any choice.
You have no choice. But the stuff...
I bought a Colorado Avalanche T-shirt that I'm going to wear when I go to the game. But I was just like, I don't think I can find one in my size at anywhere. So I better buy one before I go.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on a second. Isn't Fanatics the distributor? They're not the manufacturer, are they?
They're the manufacturer now for the uniforms.
They're the manufacturer.
But they just put a Nike swoosh on them?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, anyway, Fanatics, I talk about them all the time. They're pricing fans out of apparel, and the apparel they make is garbage. It's overpriced and it's garbage. But now it's bleeding into the players. So if you haven't seen it, you've been kind of living under a rock if you're a baseball fan, but they gave the players the new uniforms. And because the material is so bad, they can't etch the numbers and the names on the jersey anymore. They're not stitched on. They're screen printed, and they're significantly smaller. And they just generally look bad. So the players don't like that. They think they look cheap, and they look like the low-budget stuff that, fans on a budget used to be able to buy. But now the pants have come in, and the pants are see-through. You can see through the pants. So where the jerseys are tucked in looks like the guys are wearing a diaper. And in some photo shoots, there's unfortunately some guys that are displaying too much of themselves on accident because the pants are so thin and see-through and terrible. And so the Players Association's getting involved because not only do they look like that, but the players hate them. They're uncomfortable. Like the pants don't fit right, and the jerseys are like itchy, and it's all bad. And they're selling the replicas of these jerseys for $400 and $500 on the team store on top of it all. It has been a disaster, and the players are finally getting involved to say enough is enough. We look stupid. The jerseys look cheap, and too much of us are being shown when we're on the field right now.
You remember the great pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles, Jim Palmer. He was an endorser for Jockey, the underwear brand.
Yeah.
Did you see his tweet earlier today? It was a picture. It was a picture of.
First off, didn't know Jim Palmer was on Twitter.
Yeah, Jim Palmer on Twitter. He tweets earlier today, man, Jockey would have loved these uniforms because you could see their product right through them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And did I see last week that Ole Miss wore their navy blue jerseys with no names on the back of them for all of the games because the rest of the uniforms had not shipped yet? Did I read that somewhere? I can't tell you because I was only able to watch one game.
The college baseball uniforms haven't shipped yet?
Yeah.
A lot of teams are very limited. Ole Miss, I think Mike Bianco mentioned Arkansas and even LSU. There are college baseball teams that don't have their full complement of uniforms right now because they're so backlogged, and now it's going to get even worse because they might have to.
But here's what I don't understand. Nike is the provider for, a gazillion college teams, but as we're talking about Ole Miss specifically. Has Nike sub-licensed the manufacturing of their uniforms to Fanatics?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's Nike's design, and Fanatics is creating the uniforms. They're manufacturing the uniforms. This is the first year they've done this.
Has Nike just gotten out of the sweatshop business? They used to have
But they're making all the other stuff, or some of all the other stuff. And that's the way that Fanatics can get around the monopoly, by the way, is that Nike still also licenses and sells apparel, and so there is competition even though they're in bed together. But, we get this text here that the Fanatics polo shirts, the material's garbage. I mean, I wore a Pelican shirt last night watching the Pelicans game, and it's a Fanatics shirt. And I wish I wore it today, not anticipating us talking about this, but the logo on the chest, guys, is over here. It covers one, it's off. It's over on, and the shirt after one wash shrank so short that if I even raise my shoulders, you see my belt completely. It's an extra large. I'm 190 pounds. The material itself is awful, and fans have known this for a while, but the fact that it's bleeding into players in their equipment is a huge issue, and it's about to happen in hockey too. Because the same phenomenon's happening there.
I just went to Fanatics' website, fanatics.com, went to MLB, and pulled up a Yankees jersey. And you can buy a Nike home replica player jersey. It's $134.99. So that price is not out of line. But when you go to the details, it says heat applied twill team and player details. So that's your – I mean, it's like those are being pressed on.
Yep.
Which when I worked at University Sporting Goods in high school, that's what we did for the OPC jerseys. Right, we had the numbers and we laid them out, and when we had the big heat press and we pulled it down and held it in place for like 15 seconds, and then you lifted it up and you peeled it off and the number was on the jerseys. So you're telling me that a Major League Baseball replica jersey, you no longer get stitched on numbers?
That is correct.
Well, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Some of
I
the
think you can
Phillies
get stitch on numbers if you don't get the replica jersey, if you get the authentic jersey, but then you're paying like $500.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That's not authentic. That's the replica.
Yeah, but the real ones are $400 and $500.
But that's not what the actual players are wearing.
2 out of 3 Americans on this show can't afford those.
All right.
He didn't hear that.
No, I just ignored it. I ignored it. Juan Soto authentic player jersey, $325. Details, stitch, tackle, twill, team, and player detail. But that's not what the players are actually wearing in games?
No, I'll find a link and send it to you so you can see what the players are wearing in games. The nameplates are tiny.
I wonder if that's a spring training deal versus regular season deal.
I don't think it is.
Huh. All right. Well, fun time.